and with it, we do jump, not to go back to nature, just a refreshing dip to mute the echo of expectations and historical biases. Observe the frequently factored exteriors and ever-refreshing screens. The present state is simulation of the anticlimax. This constant cycle repeats and reiterates activities and leads into a tunnel without exit. We enter, without exit, but carry a fast-flowing stream of promises. All emergency signs are off, either broken or abducted, caused by the recurrent electricity shortcuts, render faults, or perhaps the lack of sun prevents solar sensors from charging. All escape routes appear blocked, only default patterns, heading towards the labyrinth of nothingness, accessible. So, trapped in countless normative number networks, try to navigate through the tunnel of the anticlimax, or should we call it the everlasting dissatisfaction of newness? Occupations that anxiously remain, stressed and full of fear. Is your biological device, aka body/mind, conditioning, automatically updated with this infectious virus of fear of loss and scarcity, demanding you to proceed according to the chain of disruptions, destructions, and glitches of low and unstimulating quality? We're being bombed by the intrusive desire for the ever-new, bombed by the never-changing desire for cheap acquisitions and consuming the fast, excessive, and homogenized. We're becoming more and more fragmented, more polarized through algorithmic confusion and privatized data, institutionalized stupidity, and fear of an unpredictable, uncontrollable future. Is the present in a permanent state of exhaustion, silently and self-evidently mimicking the loop of reproduction? We find our traces everywhere. We turn towards the old solid ground of natural law. What do we find? Our traces. We look into the solidified strata of sedimented dust and debris, and what do we find? Ourselves. But don't mistake it for being about you. It is just a matter of realizing we are the scientific, geological, and biological past too. Matter has a historical memory, and so have our bodies. Our bodies, nothing but temporary coagulations and flows of energy and materials, malleable and plastic. And so in favor of collectivity we share. Your water is yours as much as it is mine too. Minerals, genes, and hadrons are not there to be possessed. All living creatures and their inorganic counterparts crucially depend on these intense flows of energy and matter. Dragging the 8-meter-long, armor-plated, 74-toothed chunk of contracting muscle out of the bushes and into the water is an exercise to counter-navigate, devolute, and refurbish. Sponge-like substances of muscle soak, dip, and saturate, an intense effort to drown its previous, strict and controlled state. Dissolve and disrupt the normative muscle contraction, all in order to rethink the model of construction and nature. The current conception of nature, written and directed by the dominant and dominating voices, is far from feeding the dream of collectivity. The singularity of these voices feed and retweet the hierarchy of observation, the obsession with sex and quantities of X. Quantitative calculations, relative number jiggles measure functionality, efficiency, and productivity, the main nutrients for capital, a handshake that confirms the elimination of complexity and chaos. This reductionism is a threat, a deeply plugged handlebar, a grip for the established structures to rewrite pasts and histories, turning them into one-liners without depth. Dip your muscles too, in order to connect, a once and for all, into garbage with the tenacious tendency to flatten out, to simplify, to dualize. As the ones that have the power to determine the language of discourse are the ones that have the power to create flesh. Disrupt the one wave, multiply it times X, and then -1, to become a wave of pluriform and horizontal forms. Let's progress in reverse. Let's retrograde. Let's envision an alternative echo of an all-plastic flesh.